I think a lot of people like get the wrong idea about school, and they think that it's just about the subjects. No, I mean, like half of schools teach you how to function in the world.
It is real. They do make
Okay.
like basically like stem cell cream out of foreskins. Let me help you through all these old pieces of literature and like catch you up to what
Realize
we're
every
doing in the
single
20.
thing you just described has like massive ideological influence on in,
Certainly,
like, at,
certainly.
like every level.
I just find this claim that like the Bible is a good explanatory reason why we should be nice to each other, kind of like hilariously bad.
You know, the LGBTQ fucking elemental P bullshit. If you guys want your kids to learn that, I believe in a free market system. If y'all want to build a gay school, build a fucking gay school. Get the fuck away from the public education system. If you
Disavow.
pay and send your kid, now I don't like it.
You want to lie to your kids about
All right, so we did get to Libs of TikTok. So why don't we talk about that? Are you guys familiar with what's going on with that?
Yeah,
So familiar.
Some Hasidic Jewish woman got outed for being anti-lib.
She was acid, was she? Really? Wow.
So there's this WAPO reporter who not only doxed her essentially because they brought up her real estate license, which has her address on it, but also went and visited her relative's house, and basically had a whole campaign against her, kind of. I'm not sure if she's gonna fire from her job or whatever, or if they're trying to get her fired. But she runs this like account where it kind of posts like about what goes on in schools and like CRT or trans stuff or like LGBT things that go on in classrooms, and kind of posts about that. It's kind of like a more of a normie conservative account that kind of goes and just combs through TikToks and public information and kind of points at stuff and laughs at it, kind of.
When you say public information, are you including like schools of some of the teachers that were featured? Because I'm pretty sure that some of those schools were not could technically public information, but were still publicized via the Libs of TikTok account, is my understanding.
So when I say public, I meant like publicly on TikTok and stuff. Like they put teachers post stuff on TikTok.
So you agree that she was doxing people like with the account, right?
She wasn't doxing their names or addresses.
No, but the schools that they work at. I think it happened twice at least. Yeah.
I mean, like if the person has in their profile picture a teacher at this.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the account, like tweeting out or not tweeting, whatever, posting the videos of the scary trans people or whatever that however they frame it. But but then saying like what schools they're at. Like that's doxing,
That's
right?
relevant information.
Doxing information. It's relevant to you because you think those people should be doxed because whatever you.
I don't think anybody should be doxed.
It's relevant information.
Doxing's not good no matter who it is.
I'm sorry, I got to.
You're literally saying that it's good to dox people. That was literally what you just fucking said.
No, it's good for the parents to know where that's coming from. If you have a child,
so you're saying that it's good that these people are these teachers who happen to be trans or talk about trans issues, these people should be doxed, is what you're saying.
Not personally, I don't want any harm to be done to them. But if like a parent has a child in that district or at that school, then they should be aware that their kids are being taught this type of stuff.
Their kids are being taught that trans people exist. Yeah, they should. And so we should. So you're saying that we should dox teachers who are telling kids that trans people exist? Is the implication here?
Well, your soapbox, man.
Wait, no, but the issue, if you're saying,
they don't go any further into that, right?
Quiet.
I'm just
stop being such a histrionicist.
Well, yeah, if you want an honest answer, I would prefer.
Stop spurging, faggot.
No, I would prefer if they.
What's wrong?
Okay,
you just listen.
I'm trying to answer your question. I would prefer they didn't.
What's my question?
Okay, yeah. So, they should really just talk about what school. Like where it is, what school it is. I don't think that the actual person
exactly. You think that they should be doxing these people based on the schools, right?
No, yeah, not so.
So you agree with doxing? I disagree. Yeah.
That's not doxing.
A
lot of these schools are very, very big. Just like saying the school doesn't really narrow it down that much.
In several
Are you
videos.
kidding me?
Wait, how does it not narrow it down? You think that there are lots of teachers named the same thing at the same school?
In several videos that let's say I posted, the teacher is saying on video that they're teachers at this school when they're doing this type of stuff. on video they're saying this, and they're on their public profiles. They are openly saying, "I'm a teacher at this." It's not like the person
Wait,
who
so
or the
you're saying
teacher
two
is-
different things there. You're combining two different things
What?
there. You're
What am I
saying there
saying?
are some teachers who are mentioning it in the video, and then you're saying there are other teachers who have the name of their school on their profile,
Yes.
and that's public. And then you're saying that because that's public, it's okay that that information is included on the Libs of TikTok account.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Okay.
wait.
They're
Then
posting
wait,
this
wait. How do you
publicly.
think? Wait, how do you think the WAP?
No
Wait,
one-
wait.
no
How do you
one-
think
no
the
one-
WAP?
no one-
Wait.
Public information.
How do you
No
think?
one is
Talk one at a
How
time,
do
dude.
you?
No one is
Yeah.
forcing
Talking.
no one's forcing the teacher
Let's-
to put I'm a teacher at this, and this is what we're teaching my kids in their own video.
Yeah. So that's
They're
crazy.
doing their own video.
So
I
how do you
mean-
think the Washington Post reporter found out who the person was?
Probably through like some journalism, some
Well,
research.
yeah, they did some journalism, and it turns out the person had left it on like old accounts that they had up online. So by your
Yeah,
definition,
that's
it's
what I
not doxing either, is it?
I
No,
don't
not
think- I
sorry,
think
not
that might be
your.
doxing. I think,
No,
I think the
not
Washington
radical
Post might be
coder.
doxing as well.
Radical coder, not
What?
your definition.
Okay.
By Chief Trumpster's definition, that because it's online, it's not doxing. Then WAPO is not doxing the person either.
So my stance on doxing, I don't like doxing with names. And if you say this at school that this is happening at, and they're teaching this curriculum or this topic or
Not
whatever,
curriculum. It's clips
prefer-
of like teachers just talking about like the fact that they're like trans
if you
people
listen, if
exist.
you listen to what I just said, I prefer if they go and post stuff, it would be about this school teaches this content in
Sorry.
this way, not with the teacher's name or anything. That's all I was saying. I don't like doxing in any form. However, I mean, they are teaching something bad. There should be talking about this is what's being taught there, whether it be, some sort of like LGBT, class thing or whatever they deem or something like that is like terrible or whatever. I only follow that account on Twitter. I'm on Twitter or anything like that, but I don't like doxing with names and all of that. I'm not a fan of that universally. But if a school is doing bad stuff, post about it and just post this school is doing this and leave
So
it at that.
do you think you can find out the identity of the
If you want to be
teacher?
the mod right now, you're mod.
Sounds good.
What? Sorry.
Do you think you can find out the identity of the teacher if you like know what school they teach at and you know what they look like? It seems like that's not that difficult.
I mean, if you just say like on like this school is teaching this, how you link it to a teacher? You have to go
Wait,
through-
no,
go
but
through all
that's not what they're
TikTok
saying.
and,
No,
like-
what I'm saying is that they're posting a video of the teacher and then saying this teacher works at this school and then here's what they're teaching, right?
Well, I haven't really seen much. I mean, is that like what they're doing? Just putting up this teacher, his name is this, and they're teaching at this school, and they're doing
Not
this
the
thing?
name. I don't think the name is the thing that we're talking about. But
so
the school, yes. My understanding is that the school was posted with like at least some of these videos.
So it's their school and their picture, right?
it's a school,
I
sorry.
think there's both. I think there's two like multiple different situations. Like some there are some where it's inferred like just through like the video itself, and others where it's included through information that was like posted alongside. I believe, but
Well,
I could be wrong about that. But that's my understanding.
But so you understand that, like, us talking to you and the people who are following this account believe that the sort of thing that these teachers are pushing is not something they want taught to their children, right? So from our perspective, it's like relevant to us that like we would like for that. If someone happens to see it, we would like for like any parents who didn't know that was going on in their district, at that school, they would like to be aware that it was like maybe their kids that were being told these sorts of things. So that's why I was saying it's relevant to say what school it is. I also said I don't have any, like, it's not necessary to like bring any ill will to the individual person who's doing it, but the fact that it's allowed at that school is a problem for us because we ideologically like disagree with you. You're saying it like
with
it's like
teaching kids that trans people exist, like telling them that trans people.
That's not what's
exist.
going
Well,
on.
that's
in
not-
schools.
that's
That's
not how
going
we
on in
know what's
schools.
going on.
You know
So-
better.
That's
There's
literally
other
what's
stuff
going on.
going
That's
on.
literally what the whole fucking thing's about.
Sorry,
No,
really,
no,
really
not
quickly,
at all.
really quickly. If you
You're
think,
being
no,
very
so
disingenuous.
if your stance
okay,
is that there's
whatever.
some justified case of doxing, then I'm on your side, right? I think sometimes like it's in such the public interest that it's worthwhile. I just don't understand how you think that random teachers are in the public interest, but somebody who's literally being cited by Fox News is not in the public interest, right? Like these are radically different scales.
I would
Hey.
say also though that some of these schools are also and some of them at least are getting publicly funded from taxpayer dollars. I'm not sure if all of them what percentage of them are not, but there are schools out there that are getting our taxpayer dollars that we should have some sort of say or get more insight on what's being taught in schools without, for instance, them saying you can't talk about this to your parents, which is what has happened in several schools where they tell it's a secret. You're not allowed to tell your parents what you're learning, in a sense, which was
The problem
reported
is
by the
just
TikTok account. So
I don't think the problem is just like showing that people are teaching like these things. Like I don't think it's bad that the people are being taught these things. I think the idea is that it's bad to for accounts like Libs of TikTok, which foster environments and audiences of hatred towards people who do accept the existence and okayness of trans people existing and stuff. Like this is the problem, right?
I
do have a question for you, Coder.
Like
What would be the difference between a public person and a private citizen?
like a technical difference. I mean, you're asking me like what? I don't know if teachers if teachers are like a public person technically, but that's what you're saying, that like it's more okay to dox the teachers than it is to dox the person who's like being cited by Fox News. If that's your implication, I don't know. I think they're both maybe being doxed, but I think there's probably more justification to dox the person who is again being cited by Fox News. Like I agree with like
I think Brown Machine, yeah. I mean, I think if you're operating an account that's that big, then basically you're a public figure at that point, right? Like if you're being cited directly multiple times by Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I don't think anyone should be doxxed, but I don't think she should be surprised that she got doxxed. Like it's just that's how the game, that's how it operates. Like if you're gonna be in the public sphere, and you don't want to get doxxed, don't be in the public sphere. It's just that simple. So I don't think, like, you're taking this position where it's like, like who is it more right to have doxxed, and it's like I don't really care about that. What I care about is, like this is a person who's exposing something that is like a real issue, and
Do you guys ever think it's okay to dox people, basically, though?
I don't. Personally, I think people get doxxed either whether it's okay or not. It's just a reality. It just happens.
Like, yeah, whether it happens or not, do you think it's okay?
No, it's definitely dangerous. It's a bad thing to do to someone, but it's just.
Is
kind
there
of the
anybody that
reality.
ever deserves to be doxxed?
There's obviously some bar where
If
like
it's
revealing
criminal.
someone's
Like,
identity is the right thing
if
to
there's a
do.
criminal,
Like there's
Like
always
if you're
some
gonna
bar
see
for
like a
that.
mass shooter or something, they're talking about like
like,
they're
if
gonna
there's
go
a
shoot up a
criminal,
place.
Yeah,
Like,
good
okay,
example.
that
Hold
seems
on.
like something okay, or pedophile, I would
But
think.
then you would just call the
Yeah, and there's probably slightly less
I
extreme
will
examples,
say,
but
I
for the
will
most
say
part,
though.
it's
Hold on,
fucking
I'll say this though. In this, but they're putting the teachers are putting videos up, multiple videos on their account. They're publicly posting their face in their classrooms doing stuff on their TikTok with stuff in their bio that says the teacher at this place, or have linked Twitter accounts or whatnot. They're publicly posting this repeatedly on TikTok and public platforms, and it's like it doesn't even take a detective to like connect the dots there. And it's just I don't understand, like, I guess why these teachers are stupid enough to know or to do this continuously and give them content every single day. Because I'm sure they all know about this Libs of TikTok account. So I don't know why the teachers are continuously posting accounts on their accounts are publicly available. They're in this classroom, with their face not, obscured or anything, and talking openly about it. It gives them content and fuels their fire.
I think kind of the point
they're
is
morally in
that
the
you think
right.
they should be ashamed of it. Like you think they should be embarrassed. You think it's scary and bad, but they're like right, and they're just telling the truth mostly. Like I haven't seen all the examples, right? But there's that one trans dude teacher that video was going around for a while, and he's just like talking about how like some people are like assigned the wrong gender at birth, and like they change their gender, and that is a thing. Like whether or not you agree with like how that works, like that is a thing that happens. So like that's a phenomenon that exists, and like kids are gonna find out about it, and that's okay. Like I don't know, like that, but like that's one of these examples of someone being like blasted by this account, and I think that's like way more concerning. Yeah, I think that's way more concerning.
Hey, but is that the protocol for the teacher to go over, or should basic math, algebra
replacing math? No, nobody's replacing math with fucking like gender theory and CRT and shit. Like this is fucking insane.
Wait, hold on. I would say in Canada, they're actually assigned math as a racist. That they're actually I got this.
No, they're
document.
fucking not.
They-
No, there's no way.
I actually look at this. I
trust me,
look at
I
this.
know
It
you
was
teach
probably
math, and there's
a
no
year
fucking
ago.
way that what you're
No,
saying is that.
no. I will find it. I'll put it in chat. I'll
Show me.
look
Yeah,
it
show
up.
me. Let's see it.
So,
Yeah,
so,
see
so the
racism.
issue
I'll
here
find
is, I think a lot of people like get the wrong idea about school, and they think that it's just about the subjects. No, I mean, like, half of schools teach you how to function in the world, and to function correctly in the modern world, you need to understand that gay people exist, and that's a thing. And I think that should be like a responsibility of school if your parents are just going to keep that fact from you.
100%.
Why do you need like a gender confusion class to be
Wait,
a more
okay.
functional?
You're the one. You guys are the ones advocating for gender confusion. You don't want to fucking talk about it. You're the confusers.
Let's
You can't even define what a woman is.
No,
Okay.
Define
Shooting
what a
yourself
woman
in
is.
the
It's
foot.
just confusing.
One at a time.
You're the guy
Hey.
sticking the stick in his bike
Shut
and
the
flipping
fuck
over
up,
and believing
faggot.
it someone else.
Hey,
So if I can,
faggot with the glasses, stop fucking talking over people. Please.
if I can jump,
I
didn't even
sorry,
say
sorry.
anything.
If I can jump in really quickly,
about
let's just
classes.
agree that it's okay for schools to teach about gay people, right? Then we can talk about gender, but gay people is fine, right?
No, absolutely not.
Okay, then let's talk about that. Why do you think that it's not okay? Do you agree that like homosexual people are a fact, right? Like they exist?
I mean,
Well-
there are people out there who think they're homosexuals, sure.
Yeah, there are people who have
Sorry,
fetishes.
people have like sex with other men and get turned on by that, right?
People are attracted
That's a
to
fetish.
people of the same sex,
You
right?
shouldn't be teaching kids about fetishes.
Well,
But
okay,
you
you
shouldn't.
guys-
Sorry,
Teaching
when
elementary schools kids about fetishes, no.
when like 10% of that population has a fetish and that fetish is recognized by law on the federal level, of course you should be.
Can I interject?
Elementary.
I think a lot of people. I mean, we're just kind of ignoring. Like you guys are saying, like, well, kids should be taught that gay people exist, but like if there's a big difference between if a liberal teacher in 2022 teaches a bunch of students whether gay people exist or not, compared to like a priest in the 1900s were to teach, right? The things they would say about gay people would be fundamentally different, and I think the current cultural milieu is different, right? I mean, even the liberals
To
here.
the 1990s.
Well, I'm just saying, if we were in the 1990s, if someone said, like, here's these gay people, this is what they get up to, couldn't everyone here agree that it would be fundamentally different 100 years ago? The priest would say, they're degenerates, they're doing this, they're sinning, or they're sinners, right? And currently today they'll say, this is a sexual expression, it's a thing that happens, it's natural, or whatever.
So the issue is that I think
that's all I'm saying is we're talking over like kind of a cultural change, right?
Right. And so I agree that there's a cultural change. I just think that cultural change has already happened. Like we already have gay marriage. So the fact of the matter is that like now gay people by and
we're
large.
Not okay. The right wing is sorry.
That's
I don't mean to step on you.
No, it's fine. If I can, just to finish the statement, like I understand that you have some values against that, but I think teachers should teach to like the mean of society, and the mean of society today is probably okay with gay people, and it's like saying that gay people do exist, right? If you look at the support for like homosexual marriage, it's like 60% or something, right? So
sure, yeah, and we're coming from a right wing perspective, and we just don't want it's not just saying gay people exist. Like when a modern teacher teaches someone that gay people exist, it's not just
They're also
like
teaching them that it's okay, right?
Exactly, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but it is. So it's okay then.
But we disagree.
Wait, do you think?
I know, but you're wrong.
Do you think it's okay for like teachers to teach that like racism is bad?
I bet he doesn't.
It's a lot of loaded language you're using. A lot of loaded language.
Yeah, it's
so
just a
like racism is
framing.
bad equals like modern CRT. That's just absurd.
No, I'm not saying that.
Modern
Look,
CRT is.
I'm not even talking about modern CRT. I'm asking you the literal question: is it okay for a teacher in the classroom to be like, you should not discriminate based on people's like skin color?
Well, races. I mean,
Yeah, you don't choose to be a certain race.
Yeah. So should teachers
you kind
say
of
you
choose
should
to
not
act on a
discriminate based on?
fetish.
Yeah.
Wait,
honestly,
People are
I think when it
racialized.
comes to
People are racialized.
when it comes to any of these moral questions, I don't think the teachers should have any. Honestly, that's like the business to the parents to teach like moral things to children. I
wait,
think,
no, but sorry, when like kids beat each other up in kindergarten, it's the teacher's job to say you can't act this way, right? Like teachers are massive
they
moral forces on a child's life. That's just totally
Sure.
normal.
well, I don't think it should be as normal as it is for one thing. But
Teachers should just like let kids
they-
beat each other up.
No, definitely not. They should maintain a certain standard for behavior within school, but I don't think they should be like
Yeah,
you
they shouldn't supplant the
teach.
parent.
Yeah. That's the parent's job, is to teach the children moral lessons. What the teachers are there to do is to provide an education, and honestly, a secular education, or an education devoid of ideology is like honestly how it ideally should be. Is just like here's how math works. Here, let me help you become literate. Let me help you through all these old pieces of literature, and catch you up
You
to what
realize
we're
every
doing in the
single
20.
thing you just described has like massive ideological influence on in
Certainly,
at like
certainly.
every level, right?
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
just
yeah.
said like this
Well,
ideological
okay,
choice is
no,
possible,
and
basically.
I'm
But
trying
like,
to be secular here. Personally, I would like the church to be in charge of the curriculum. I would like a far right thing. I'm
look
kind of
who it is.
I'm moving into
Mio.
your
My
realm a little bit.
nemesis.
Oh, you guys don't like each other? That's not
What's up, Miyo?
surprising.
No, we love it. We're in love.
Cool.
No,
I
shut up.
should have known
What's up, buddy?
I'd see you around this part of town.
What's up, Miyo?
No, I don't. I'm not going to disagree and say like like reading like Kill a Mockingbird in school should be banned, because honestly that was one of my favorite books in school. But I don't think a teacher should look at a student and be like, white people bad because Kill a Mockingbird. Like there's a totally
I
different
agree.
subject here that
But I don't think that's what's happening.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
I think that is happening in some places, but I think people are all. I think there are some teachers who are also teaching math really badly. I think there are some teachers who are teaching science really badly. And I think there are teachers who are teaching, and I think race is especially muddied because of the history of this country and the way that it's been presented to people. And yes, there's going to be a lot of teachers who present these things in like a really stupid way and handle it really badly. Especially since most teachers in America, I don't know if you know this, are white women, right? And they are not necessarily equipped to talk about race all the time. Okay, and they're going to have to learn just
They're
like
not really
all
equipped to
this
talk
fucking
about
happens.
White
anything
women
at
are the
all,
worst.
honestly, right?
Whatever.
So-
Yeah. Okay.
Look,
Women
I
are
think,
really
qualified. Yeah,
about
whatever.
it.
I get it.
You know what? I think I respect everybody here who's basically saying like the reason you're against it is because you think like children being gay is degenerate and that's a bad thing. I just hear a lot of like right wing people say like, oh, but teachers shouldn't be teaching values. And like I know for a fact that you don't actually believe that, right? Because if you didn't
Be
believe
teaching the right values.
right, okay, and then
Exactly.
you just think that like homosexuality is degenerate, right? So teachers
Yeah,
shouldn't teach
it is.
Okay. Well, I mean,
It's-
at least you're
it's
honest. I appreciate that.
masturbation, Really, it doesn't do anything except give you AIDS.
Well, okay.
Well, I mean,
Look. I mean, here's the thing. Like,
Barely
you
need
want
medications.
children to be taught your values. We want children to be taught our values. It's
no. See, that's
look
a
at the
that's
world
a
when they're taught
You
these
can be
liberal
honest about
values.
that.
Values are
Are you guys gonna
liberalism,
let him finish
equality,
talking or no?
and equity and all of that. And our values are like moral order and God and Jesus. So
the reason is that I know that you don't believe that for all parents, because there are necessarily going to be some parents who are just abusive pieces of shit and are going to raise their children to be abusive pieces of shit. And I hope that you're not okay with them just like passing that on, right? You would want teachers to step in at some point, right?
Okay, that's a very common
No.
thing with lefties. Is we're not trying to create the norm around the exception. It's like most people are not abusive pieces. Most parents are not abusive pieces of shit, and we don't need to structure our entire society around those people. We can use extra methods to resolve those issues. There's a community that they're involved in. There's the legal system. We can resolve that through other methods, but when we're talking about what is normative within the educational system, we should that's what we're talking about, is what we want to be normative. And so you bring up exceptions, and that's not the conversation we're having. It's an effective argumentative strategy, I'll give you that, but it's just you're bringing up like a fundamentally different
and really the issue here with
Sorry
this,
to interrupt.
respond.
Lennon, your audio is really low for whatever
really?
reason.
Oh,
Yeah, there
sorry
you go. Now
about
you
that.
fixed it. Yeah.
Okay, my
and
bad.
really, it's just like for the record, like what's happening here, like what this issue is about is that children are being taught things in schools that if the parents knew about it, it would be a problem. And that's why you guys are all like, upset. You're like, oh, these people got doxxed or whatever. But it's like they were basically preying on children. The children can't advocate for
That's
themselves.
insane.
That's their parents' job. And their parents were, it was like behind closed doors, this is happening to them. And so the question is, like Brittany sort of got into this earlier, which is like, do you think if somebody posted proof that they were molesting a child actively on Twitter, do you think it would be okay to dox that person morally? Do you think
Yeah,
that'd be a
of
moral
course.
good?
Yeah, but
Okay,
that's not
right.
what's happening
So
here.
if
That's
we're
not what
talking
any of these
right, but
examples are.
it
So
just
that's
shows
not
that
comparable. But okay.
there's a line to be drawn there.
I've got a great
And so
example.
then the
I'm sure you do.
question becomes, it's like the way that
Oh, I
these
do.
people
Just wait.
view it is that these teachers are preying on children. And it's the same
Because
reason
they've
why
been
you
told
have
that
a
they've been
problem
lied to.
with
Yeah.
pedophiles is what they're doing is preying on children, and children can't advocate for themselves. They're the most vulnerable in our society. And so, yeah, if these teachers are doing that, then the parents have every right to be upset about it.
So
I think Libs of TikTok has every right to expose what they're
Hold on,
doing,
bro.
I know you
preying
think
on
that.
children.
so
I'm
Matt,
gonna
really
get out of
quickly.
here.
Oh,
Abolish
oh,
public schools or something. I don't
Oh,
know.
all right,
fuck
Yeah,
public
bye.
Maximus,
Don't
see you
do that.
later.
Don't fucking do that.
Later,
Jesus Christ.
Maximus.
Public
don't
schools suck. They
So
suck.
I don't fucking know.
I like you every day more and
out,
more,
guys.
Maximus.
Goodbye,
See
sir.
you
You're
later.
cleaning it
That's
up,
cat
Maximus.
cozy,
I know
that's
you're doing
cozy.
it to like be ironic, but you're honestly cleaning it up, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, look at that.
You're a cool guy.
That's cozy.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, all this
Sounds
stuff
very
is
cozy of you.
it's kind of a
Let's let
question.
bro. I think it's bro's
Yeah.
turn to speak. He's been waiting.
Oh, thank you.
I
Yeah.
gotta say, bro, and Coder.
Yeah, all I was going to say was that just like you agree that there's some point at which like we should dox people, which I agree with, you should also agree that there are like some values which we just shouldn't let parents teach their children, right? We disagree on which values, but I feel like you think there are no sorry, I was speaking specifically to
Mr.
Rainmaker.
What's up?
Yeah,
Oh.
do you think that there's no value which should not be passed down from parents to children?
What?
Because you disagreed. I said that you must agree that there are like some
I mean, of
values which you
course I
shouldn't
think
let to
there's
be passed
values
down,
which
right?
people
Wait,
shouldn't-
Mia, he's not talking to you.
Yeah,
Hold on.
he's talking to Rain.
I think everybody in school, the only values that should be taught to kids are that of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, right?
What?
So
What is that your Bible?
Wait.
Come on,
Mio,
let him
Mio.
finish.
no, I'm just saying like everybody should have like the baseline, right? And that of course is the Bill of Rights. Like, once again, treat everybody like they should be treated, right? Simple enough. However, I don't believe, and this is coming from personal experiences, I had teachers in school who I could get off track from my education so they could go on their liberal fucking tangents, and I'd be like, hey man, I get to fuck around in class all day. And that really took time away from me without even realizing it. I think I'm a kid, I think I'm getting away with something. And you're just supposed to be teaching me Spanish right now, bitch. Like what the fuck's going on? And you could get these teachers to go on these tangents. The same thing with the LGBTQ fucking LMNOP bullshit. If you guys want your kids to learn that, I believe in a free market system. If y'all want to build a gay school, build a fucking gay school. Get the fuck away from the public education system. If you pay and send your kid, now I don't like it.
You want to lie to your kids about gay people, then you can take your dumb kids out of the public school system, but don't fuck it up with your bullshit. No, absolutely not. You fuck off. You fuck off. You make your own shit.
If you want your kids to be gay,
Whoa,
taxes go to these schools.
We're all talking over each other.
I don't care.
Supervise the moderator right now, so we're gonna all listen to him.
Thank you. Go ahead, glasses guy. Not red glasses guy. The other glasses
You're
guy.
the best moderator ever, by the way.
I don't know. Like, if you're saying like, oh, build gay schools, or no, fuck you. Like it's okay to be gay. It's okay to teach kids that gay people exist, and it's okay to tell them that it's okay to be gay. It's fuck you. I don't care. You're wrong, and if you want to make an anti-gay, we hate gay people school, you can go do that. You're gonna deal with a lot of problems with it. A lot of problems.
We're gonna make it don't say gay bill.
You're gonna have a lot of problems with it, but like, fuck it. If that's your shit, you can try to do that. That's not my problem. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna let public school kids get lied to so that you can feel better about, because like you can dig your fucking face.
That's how
you
I
can
feel.
dig your
I'm
face
not
deep
gonna
into
let
the dirt
them
and
get
pretend that gay and trans people don't exist. Okay, I'm not gonna do that. Fuck you.
No, I'm not gonna let them get lied to so that you and the trans people feel better.
Go fuck yourself. I don't give a fuck.
Rainmaker,
who cares?
Rainmaker, I have a hard time believing that you actually think that all we should teach kids is the Constitution, right? Because I assume if you see like kindergartners just ganging up and bullying each other, you like want a teacher to step in, right? Even though I don't see anywhere in the Constitution saying like don't be mean to other people.
I was gonna bring that up, which is that like treat others how you want to be treated isn't in the Bill of Rights, right? You know where that actually comes from?
I'm saying very simple.
Where that comes from?
Never thought I'd
Treat
agree
others
with
how you
Maya
wanna
on
be
something,
treated,
but
the golden rule.
based.
Where does it come from?
definitely comes from the Bible.
That's right. That's right. That's what we're talking about. And these values,
No,
which
hey,
are so
I'm
ingrained
a
into us.
Baptist boy. You don't need to tell me.
Well, what I'm saying is these values, which are so ingrained to us that we think it's just a normal part of society, or just being taught, like our legal system, like kids would just grow to believe this stuff. They wouldn't. Once you abandon the Bible as the foundation for moral value, then it doesn't have to be, treat others how you want to be treated. You have to explain why you have to do that. You have to come up with some logical explanation for it, which honestly, there's good logical explanations. Why not? And so there could be all sorts of things that teachers could end up teaching kids, like that they should chop their dicks off and turn into girls. And so things get really confusing when you abandon the Bible, and teaching them from a young age our moral values, our systems that everything is built on. It's like crucial, and we need to have that in our schools, instilled in all of the young children of our society. The moral value. If you have a virtuous people, everyone could have a lot more freedom like you want, a more libertarian system where it's the anti-federalists, they all said that like a moral virtuous people is required for the type of system that they wanted. You have to have people that are generally good at heart for everybody to have maximum freedom, right?
So,
I absolutely agree with you, Mio. I'm sorry.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Yeah. So sorry, Maud, you could tell me if I'm going too off track here, but I just find this claim that like the Bible is a good explanatory reason why we should be nice to each other, kind of like hilariously bad, because I could just say like we should be nice to each other because I said so, and then like people ask me why, and you'll be like, you don't have a good justification. But then if you say you should be nice to each other, and I ask you why, you're going to start talking about like some God, and then are you going to like prove God's existence to kindergartners? No, I think that like just the fact that you have a book that writes it all down. Wait, one second.
Just like Santa Claus.
Wait. The fact that you have a book that writes everything down doesn't mean that your belief system is any more grounded than me just making up 12 rules and writing them in the PDF, right?
Wait, Mio, let him finish, Mio. Come on.
No, I'm done. That's fine.
I mean, hold on. We are, I've just been trying to say this. I mean, you have to take it for granted that we are coming from a different perspective than you. So we believe our book is right. Okay, so yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about religion and debunk God, then we could do that. But
and it's not, again, it's not that it's written down. It's that like the historicity and veracity of the Bible. It's one of the most proven collection of ancient manuscripts. It is the most proven collection of ancient manuscripts of all time. There isn't one that there's been more translations starting from ancient times, more secular sources, historical sources referencing all of the exact same events and people and all of that stuff that took place in the Bible. This is a lot of the texts from the Bible are like texts like reports to the Roman government and stuff like that. And so it's like that you can joke around that it's like, oh, a couple people got together and made up a bunch of fairy tales. But like, sorry, it's way more complicated and deeper than that. And like, really, the people who know what they're talking about just view you as retarded for not understanding this stuff.
Sorry, the historicity of the Bible, I think, is like doubtworthy at best. There are biblical scholars on both sides, but
It's
also
not
wait,
hold on. We're
Wait, let him talk.
rapidly.
Come on,
Oh
let him
my
talk.
God, sorry.
let him
No,
talk.
I gotta say
Dude,
we're
bro.
rapidly moving away from the education.
Yeah,
discussion.
sorry, I
We've
don't.
made a,
Yeah, that's
I mean,
true.
if you want us to keep
Part
on
of
that,
it.
that's fine. But yeah.
yeah, we're gonna get into biblical stuff if we keep this going. Is all I'm
That's
saying.
true.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I was going to say is that regardless of the historicity, I think that whether or not there's lots of historical truth in the Bible doesn't give me a strong reason to believe that like what it says I ought do is something that I truly ought do, right? Because if I just wrote a book that had a bunch of historical facts in it, and then I said, oh, and by the way, you ought to like kill every second person, that doesn't give me any reason to believe that's true either.
I
But
get
yeah.
where you're coming from, and really, this is like I at one point I was you, and so I can really relate. So it's like, that here's how what got me there initially is that you can see very easily, especially if you interact with like a decent group of real Christians, that like those are the results that are yielded in terms of the type of people that you end up around, and who the community is and who the people are and stuff. The results that are yielded from from a Christian society versus an atheist society of any color, really. It's just better people. When everyone is striving towards the goal that Christianity sets for everybody, you end up with a better civilization. And if our civilization abandons that moral root, that foundation that it's based on, then all sorts of things will fall apart in crazy ways. And that's exactly what Nietzsche warned about when he said God is dead and we've killed him. And he was saying it's a horrible thing. Like, how will we know up from down or left from right? What kind of crazy rituals will we have to invent to figure out what's what? Are we going in any direction at all? He'd say. Are we going in every direction at once? That's what he said. He said, "Who knows anymore?"
Important questions.
So
Yeah.
Important questions need to be asked.
if you're using consequentialism to justify fallen Christian ethics, that's fine. But then
one way to get to that. That's
okay.
Well,
but then
Nietzsche was, but
then
not
you're still.
us.
I mean, one second. The argument that Miyo just said there uses consequentialist grounds to get to a Christian ethic. So then you're yeah, by that argument, then I would still fundamentally be a consequentialist, even if I would act as if I'm Christian, right?
Right. Yeah, no, and that's absolutely true. And that's totally separated from whether or not you believe in all the metaphysical stuff or whatnot. But like and ultimately your true ethical core, I think, comes from your metaphysical beliefs. But you can still recognize from a consequentialist, atheistic, agnostic perspective that the Christian ethical system and the metaphysics that cause the people to act like that truly, at least more so than any other system, yields the best results in terms of society and the people that you're around. And so having people be taught that, having people around you that really believe that you be in a better neighborhood, in a better town, in a better city, in a better country, in a better world.
Yeah, so actually, I think that you're right that there are a lot of valuable Christian ethics. So, for example, like treating your neighbor well, or things like believing that every person is sacred, those types of things. I just think that you don't need to be like homophobic, for example, to have a good society. So, given that we're just using consequentialist grounds, I don't see why I could pick and choose all of the good aspects of Christianity and discard all the bad ones.
Well, that's not unique to Christianity. I mean, it's universal.
Okay, well, I mean, any religion.
Homophobia.
And part of the
It's natural law.
Yeah, I mean, part of the issue is that it is a package deal, right? And so it's like you end up with the best society overall, but it does have like what you would consider some issues. But then again, it's like do your consequentialist trade-off, right? Like what's John Stuart Mill, right? Your big complicated equation for the greatest good for the greatest number of people, and you can still get yourself there and figure out that it's still what's best overall.
Hey, Rainmaker, if it's like the natural law, then how come it doesn't like happen naturally?
What doesn't happen naturally to a male and a female coming together?
Yeah, well, like how come people deviate from that if it's like natural law? Like if it's like law, should it like what do we like? Are like why do those people like exist?
We're talking about reproduction. You need a male and a female. It's not.
Yeah, well, no
it's
shit.
not
Like no one's saying
natural
otherwise.
because no reproduction happens.
Nature does
Yeah,
not
but no
mean
reproduction happens. Like what? Like if I go have sex with my girlfriend and I wear a condom, like that, no reproduction happens ideally, right? So like that's
okay.
another.
Nature
Like,
does not mean like whales and monkeys. Nature has to do with like it is a spiritual. So you're just like that's not what we're talking about when we talk about natural
So it's not
law.
really like just the natural way things should happen. Like
if I can,
it's not that seems like the implication. I don't know. It sounds like it's the idea that like there's like a natural way that things should be, and to me that the only way that makes sense is if, like, the way that things naturally play out, right?
The way
that's the way that logically fits, right? I mean, maybe I'm just telling my understanding. It's possible.
The way things function in nature, like if you pour salt on a crop that you're trying to grow, the crop won't grow, right? I mean, this is nature. It's not like sometimes monkeys have gay sex. What we're talking about is
I'm talking about monkeys. I'm talking about humans. I'm talking about humans who have gay sex, which is okay to do. That's my point.
We're talking about telos. Are you familiar with like the philosophical term telos, or like the purpose of something?
Please explain it to me. I'm not.
Yeah. So it's
the purpose of something.
Yeah. Essentially.
So how does this get us to like? How does this get us from like men and women usually fuck each other to men should not be allowed to fuck each other? How do we get to like? I just don't see it.
All right, telos, the purpose of something, the purpose of sexual organs, is for reproduction. It is for like reproducing the human species or race or however you want to say it. So this is the purpose of it.
I think you're
And
putting a lot of weight in the word purpose there. I would say that is what that stuff does. Yeah, I mean for sure, like undeniably, that is what
well,
those
no,
things
but
do. Yeah, like
okay, but
functionally, that is what they do. Yeah, undeniably, I agree.
Okay, so let's just grant its purpose. You would say that like you should only use things for their like real purpose, right? And you shouldn't like use them for other things.
no, yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I fundamentally disagree.
Do I want pro wrestlers to beat other pro wrestlers up with a chair, even though chairs are meant for sitting? It's like, yeah, you can misuse something, sure, but that is
If
not
there's
the
a
use
context
that.
where you're using something
Normal.
differently, like you say misuse, but like in that context, the chair is being used properly. In that context, the chair is there to be used
Wait,
as a
no,
weapon, like
but
it's being used
actually,
properly, right?
I think if you just admit that it's being used improperly, that's actually more damaging to your case because
I'm saying it's
then,
not.
right, no, but
I mean,
if
yeah,
it
yeah,
is,
yeah,
if it
yeah,
is,
sorry.
then how do you distinguish between like improper things which are like great and fun, which is wrestlers hitting each other with chairs, and improper and unnatural things which are like terrible, like gay sex, right? How do you know which is which?
Well, the difference
These
is
things by their
the difference.
fruit.
Yeah, the difference is
Image.
one is a chair and it's an object, and the other is that it's people, and the consequences are much higher.
Well, I mean,
Right,
I mean, the
then
consequences
we're
of
just
hitting people with
consequentialist
chairs is
again.
worse than having sex with them. Usually, unless they don't want the sex, that's way worse. But like normally, like yeah, I think the chair is
Because
way worse.
all the gay sex gives you is short-term pleasures and with no long-term benefits, and the trade-off is like risking
Disease.
like a litany of sexual diseases which are probably going to be untreatable by antibiotics in the next 10 to 20 years or so if you encourage people to just be gay at big numbers in a few years, or few decades, it might just be that somebody gets the clap and then they just have it for life.
Okay, so
And
your
hello,
justification
Probably
is
make it
consequentialist, right?
safer for people that have
hello,
sex.
diaper alert. They have to wear
Yeah.
diapers too.
Yeah,
So-
and
so-
the amount of
There's no room
parasites
in
they
man's
can track.
Safer. Can we try to?
Yeah.
Shouldn't we
Okay.
try to make sex safer for people? Like try to make access to like
we're
like,
not actually. No. We fundamentally. Sorry, to answer that, we fundamentally believe it's immoral, but you guys have a
yeah,
different.
but I don't care because
Yeah.
people are gonna
Stop
fuck anyway,
interrupting
even
me.
if
No,
you
no,
guys
no, no,
online.
You
people are
guys
still
have
gonna
a
fuck, so
different.
like why do we care?
You
No,
guys
sorry,
have
let's-
a different morality than us, and we're trying to engage
It's not even about
with you
morality. People are gonna
on a
fuck whether or not you
Right.
have whether or not you and I disagree about it. Like that's the problem. At the end of the day.
Radical coder, I appreciate your position, but I want to drill down on this natural law thing, right?
Yeah,
Because if you don't want to talk about the consequences, then that's fine, right? So then what is the difference between hitting somebody with a chair, which it's not intended for, and having gay sex, which your penis is also not intended for?
Well, I just said it. I mean, a chair is an object. It's a piece of property. It's not a
Okay,
big deal if
so
you
if
misuse a
it-
chair,
if it's a
but
body
it's a
part.
big deal. It's a big deal if you misuse a human
Wait,
soul.
so then it's consequentialist again, right? Or are you talking about like just if it's a body part or not? That's what's relevant.
I'm not talking about body parts. I'm talking about human beings engaging in a foul act.
I mean, so again, you're
I'm
begging the question.
I'm not concerned about penises and buttholes. I'm concerned about the people who have those
Right, so
penises and buttholes.
You're just begging the question because I'm asking you how you know it's wrong, and you're saying because it's foul and wrong, right? So like, how do you know it's foul and wrong?
Well, I've been saying this over and over again. It's like you and I would have to get in a we'd have to have a atheist versus Christian argument, and so we could go into that, but that's a totally different discussion.
Right, but
Not gonna go anywhere either.
So are we moving to like more theological stuff, or talking about?
I'd rather not personally.
Yeah,
but
I think we
could.
should
Talking
spin the
about
wheel.
stuff.
I think this topic's
spin
dead
the
at
wheel.
this point.
I think we kind of
Let's
been
do it.
rotating
Let's
back.
spin
and
the
forth.
I agree.
wheel.
Love the chaos. Bring it on.
It's disappointment.
Let's see what we got.
You know what chaos is? It's fair.
I don't know. I don't like this one.
What is it?
Ethics and journalism. I don't know.
bro,
Yeah,
boring.
that doesn't exist. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Boring.
It's
We gotta
real
bring it
fucking-
back.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of weird
Relationship,
shit.
but like I
It's
feel like we
real
need more
bros.
like e-celebrities here for that one.
You know, that is a bro moment for sure.
I really like that topic though, but we need more e-celebs there. The Romeo and Juliet laws. I like that one.
What the hell is that? I'm not familiar with
Yeah,
that.
I'm not familiar.
Okay. Romeo and Juliet laws are basically that if two people start dating when they're like both underage and it's legal, and then one of them like turns 18, so now it's like somebody who's an adult dating a minor, then
Oh.
like it's fine still, and that's just like obviously fine. Like, why would we make somebody break up
Yeah.
when it was fine before?
Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah, spin the wheel again. Well, I mean, does anyone?
I think. Yeah. Does anyone disagree with
so,
that?
like, do you guys think? Okay, so say that there's like a 17-year-old that is dating a 21-year-old. Do you think that's grooming?
Well, no, it was
No.
illegal before.
That's
Is the
not.
issue.
Hold
I
on.
don't think so.
That's not the Romeo and Juliet
No,
law.
but let's just like go with it.
Yeah. So you're just gonna make it way crazier so that
It's
we
not
can.
that crazy.
I think it's not
Coder
good.
considering his options right now, very carefully choosing his words.
I'm
I
just
think it's- I
saying,
think
like,
it's
do you
not
think
good.
it's like, do you think it's like a crazy thing?
I don't think it's. I think it happens a lot. I don't think
I
it's
think a
crazy.
lot
I
of
think it
people
happens a
don't
lot,
want
but
to
I don't
admit
think
that it's
I don't think
not
it's good.
crazy because
I
it's
know.
not that big of a deal, but they like
Wow.
feel like
Coder,
they're
do you
supposed
think
to say
that's
it
like
is.
Brittany is a
predatory?
pedophile,
That's like
confirmed.
predatory behavior?
Not necessarily.
You don't. Okay.
No,
Like
I mean,
somebody who's gonna be 18 in 2 months, and then there's like somebody who could have been in high school with them, but they're just like 21 or
Yeah.
something.
When it
I
comes
just
to
think
know.
it's
this
so.
topic, I think people should just follow the laws. I don't know. Maybe the laws
And
aren't.
most of the actual laws in most of the
Just stay out
countries,
of
it's like
trouble.
16 and 17 is the age of consent or whatever.
Yeah,
So, no,
I
the
think
thing
that
is-
people throw around the term groomer and pedophile a little too loosely, and I think that they should be safe for actual.
I mean,
groomer.
so even then, like, there are lots of close in age laws such that, like, in a lot of places, like, 13, 14-year-olds can have sex. They can just only have sex with people who are also, like, 13 and 14, right?
Right. Yeah, that's most of the, like, and the, yeah. And I don't think that they should be having sex at that age in general, but I don't think anybody also should be going to jail if they're, like, within the close age range.
I don't know how to deal with that legally. It's weird.
But yeah, I don't think that people in that age range should be having sex.
Yeah, did they both
But
rape each other? How does that work?
I don't think that somebody's a groomer or a pedophile if they went to high school together, if they were in school together. And I think that people who throw that term around, it's just, I don't know. It.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think there's much of an ideological divide here. It's just like if there was a Christian world order in charge, then we would handle it one way, and if there was a liberal leftist world order, they would handle it another way.
Everybody would be marrying 12-year-olds.
Yeah, it wouldn't really be much of a problem because even if there was like a 17-year-old going out with a 21-year-old in a Christian world order, they wouldn't be having sex.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would just spin the wheel
solved.
again.
I'm doing
Yeah.
circumcision.
Not
I
even
don't think it's
holding hands.
productive.
Coder, are you nervous right now? Are you nervous right now, dude? You
Shaking.
seem a little. Yeah.
What?
Are you? It
We
looked
have circumcision.
About
Nervous,
fucking
Mio. You
circumcision.
make me nervous,
Actually, yeah.
Mio.
I want to
I
talk
told you
about
you're my
circumcision.
nemesis.
He has a lot of people's nemesis.
Can we talk circumcision? I'm
I don't
so
really
down.
think you're my
Yeah,
nemesis. Just so you know.
circumcision.
Who's opening up on the circumcision question?
Coder.
Let's throw it to Lennon because just
What?
because Lennon said he wants to talk about the
And you
topic.
want,
So
so you
go
want to
ahead,
open up
Lennon.
for
I'll tell you.
circumcision?
I don't know. My understanding is that there's like I hear like conflicting information about like health benefits. I think it's kind of a strange ritual. I'm
Agreed.
like I don't know. I think it probably shouldn't be a thing. But it seems to be like really popular, and I don't know. You have to like
Is this like where the Jews
I
have taken over and now
I don't
everybody?
think. Yeah, I don't really see it that way. I think that people really believe that it's like a cleanliness thing. I think that's what mostly, but I don't know if the science backs that up. At least not anymore. It might or it might have been earlier on. You
We're
know,
here at circumcised.
maybe nowadays we have like better. I am.
You have
And
circumcision
but I don't know if it's like
studies.
better or worse or whatever. Like I don't know.
But
Yeah, I just
Coder, you know.
I
Oh, go ahead.
yeah. I just think it should be illegal, at least for infants. And well, I don't know. It might even be an overstep of the state to make it illegal for, and I'm pretty pro-state, but to make it illegal for adults. But yeah, I think it's in the same way that it's immoral for women to be circumcised. Obviously, the significance of the relevant organs
yeah.
is very different, but I think it's still immoral to take to do that to a child. I mean, I
Definitely strange
disagree with.
visual,
I think it's a
yeah.
barbaric
Weird.
But guys, you
mutilation.
guys understand that they need the baby foreskins to make the celebrities you look younger.
That's true. Yeah,
Okay.
the foreskin cream.
Huh?
So
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
It's
it's real.
Foreskin facial.
What would Hillary
Oh.
Clinton have for dessert?
Yeah. Well, no, I mean this is real. Maybe here I'll even DM it to you. I'm not saying that this is what drives the industry. You know, maybe it is, but it is real. They do make like basically like stem cell cream out of foreskins.
Oh my God.
Not surprised.
Yeah. Legal or not, doctors should definitely not be encouraging it like they do, because it's like just insane. They take it as like you know, an assumption that the parents would want a circumcision. It shouldn't be that normalized.
You know what? I'm against it, but it's not like that big of a deal. Like I feel like it doesn't affect your life that much.
Like, so
Big deal.
Catholics are
Over
super against
100
like
babies
circumcision,
die
right?
every year from it, by the way.
Wait,
What, Brittany?
Catholics like are
I didn't know
super
that.
against circumcision, right?
I sent you the video, Brittany. I don't know if you want to play it, but
Oh my god! No, don't play it.
no,
Don't let Mr. Lennon do this to us.
No. It's
You
an
dirty
appearance.
motherfucker.
No, it's an appearance on Ellen. It's just they talk about.
You said
play that,
400
I've
kids
seen
die.
that.
You-
I saw that on,
Share screen. Do a share screen and we can play it.
I saw that on MDE.
But for me to like do it, it's gonna be too much
Share it
work.
on your
So just
screen,
do a
bro.
share screen and I can do it.
All right, sure. Give me a second.
Real good clip.
Are you gonna play the Sam Hyde version of it, Lennon? or are you
No,
gonna play the
we'll just
regular
play
version?
the straight goop.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
Maybe a bad choice of words there, given the
Yeah.
context. But
Sorry, Mao, did you say that 400 kids die a year of it, or what?
Over 100.
Circumcision?
It's like 120
Kids
something.
die from
that kids die from botched circumcision.
oh yeah,
And even more than that are like
yeah.
irreparably damaged.
Yeah,
now.
they're mutilated.
I remember when my son got it, and he was like, I remember him sniffling when he came back from like the little hospital area, and I was so hormonal. I started crying when I saw it.
Half Jewish woman, by
what
the
did you
way.
do to
Half
him?
Jewish. Everyone remember, half Jewish.
And
Yeah,
Shut up.
yeah.
And it wasn't like
That's a
you
little
were
suspicious.
like-
That
Actually,
Half
mine-
Jewish.
I actually was born in a Christmas stocking. Okay.
Born in Israel.
Well, you know what?
Warp.
Let's play this
Who
clip.
would birth you into a
Wait,
Christmas
this is not-
stocking?
you're not
That's so
showing
fucked
it
up.
right. Like you're not sharing the screen.
Yeah, I am.
Why
Yeah,
isn't
he
it?
is.
Okay, well, let's
It's
see.
not starting.
I got it. All right.
Oh
fine.
yeah, I got it queued up, ready when you guys.
All right, do it.
I don't even know how to watch this. Thoughts. How bad is this?
It's not bad at
not
all.
bad. It's
It's
not
literally.
How bad is
No,
this? I'm watching
It's on
it.
TV.
It's just two people talking. It's nothing graphic.
It was on
Yeah.
TV.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just two
Alright.
people talking, say the N word over.
Is it? Yeah, it's just a bunch of N-words. Is everyone ready?
Is that
Wait, yeah.
Shapiro here?
Yep, yep, yep.
Alright.
Okay, let's talk
Can you make
about
it louder?
the facial that you're obsessed with. That how many did you get the whole cast of Ocean's 8 to do this?
Everybody.
I can actually.
Good, smart ones.
Just those that I thought would appreciate it.
Okay, explain what it is.
Well, it's this way in which one forces through microneedling. It's like a little roller with these. Some of you, I think many of you know it. And it pushes through the skin and ruptures the collagen, and then boosts it. You look like a burn victim for a day, but then it pushes. The
What are you
serum
pushing into the skin, Sarah?
serum.
Sandra? Carrie? What are you pushing into the skin?
Well, you push in whatever the facialist would like to insert into your pores.
But what is it?
It is an extraction from a piece of skin that came from a young person far, far away.
What the hell?
It's Chinese foreskin.
Asians do age very
You
well.
guys
by the
talked
way.
over it, but she's. Did you hear that?
And they somehow figured out how to
What the?
It's foreskin from a Korean baby.
Ay,
Right? That's what it is.
Okay.
Who comes up with this?
I don't think. It's not like I'm lying there with little pieces all over my face. It's like.
Oh no.
Damn, what lucky person can build
They
in
just
foreskin?
Press the laugh track.
And why didn't we come up with that?
Yeah, very funny.
Yeah,
God.
Nasty
Yeah,
stuff.
I gotta stop watching that.
That's
That's
All right, that's great.
Yeah,
Oh.
it's
Gross
awful.
as hell,
It's
man.
really awful.
Ew, but does it
Pretty
work
much.
though? That's the question.
Yeah.
It's,
It
I
probably
think
does.
so.
It comes from
Yeah,
young
yeah,
It
terrible.
does
people.
work. It does work.
Yeah,
Th-
yeah.
This is where
But
the
you
myth
know
of vampires come from. These people have been feeding
Oh
But
no.
young
you know what this is?
children for thousands
This
of
is
years.
this is the free market of
and
ideas
true.
working here. Yeah,
Straight
this is the free
Vampires
market of
are
ideas.
real.
I think
Yeah,
I
that's
think
what free
she's
market
playing.
does.
I think she's playing this up a little bit. Honestly, I think she's playing this up a little bit with the
You
way
thi-
she's describing it.
you think
I don't
she's
think the
lying?
science is.
They
I
have
think
like
she's.
things like
I
that
think-
with like
part is
your own
Ellen-
blood. I haven't heard of anything where they do it with foreskin.
The worst part is Ellen keep asking
stem
like
cells
she
are
doesn't
worse.
know.
Yeah, right.
She's like
That's
she's
how Ellen
being
knows.
curious
Oh, she
about
was
it. Like
pressing
you
her.
know,
Weird
She
job.
wanted her to
you
say
know.
it. She
But
was like,
no, but
say it. What is it? She's
Yeah,
like, well,
Ellen
whatever
knew.
they
She-
want to put in
Yeah,
my
Ellen
no,
knows.
yeah. I'm sure Ellen knows. Ellen knows. No, but this is actually kind of like to say this again. You know,
I'm
it's kind of
muted.
this is the free. This is what the free market is. This is what the free market is.
Why is it an
unfortunately.
Asian foreskin?
Yeah,
Like,
not
do they
good,
like
not
really
good.
like get the circumcision?
Nasty stuff.
That
Yeah,
makes it
obviously.
better.
Oh
It's
my
Well,
children from far, far away.
I mean,
We
Ellen
don't
was
use
just
American children.
Ellen was obviously an angel investor in this. She was like the
Okay,
crowdfunder.
so here's the thing. It's the enzyme that's in this treatment is derived from cells that were taken from
Here it
a foreskin at some point
Oh,
in
that
time.
makes
So,
it
so we're
cool.
talking about like
Here,
things
yeah,
like
we're
way
gonna
down the line.
we're gonna
like, it's
rationalize
all-
the foreskin.
Yeah, so
fucking
you
know,
put
yeah.
2
It's
degrees
not
of
the-
like
it's
processing
not like
through
you
it,
need
but
like a
it's the same. It's
yeah. It's not like you need
from
like
the same
steady
place.
supply.
Yeah, what's the difference,
It's not
bro?
like you need a
It's
steady. It's not,
semantics.
In the
it's not-
blender.
It's
Done.
not semantics.
Listen
The
to this
implication
dope.
is that they need a supply of Korean babies to fucking make themselves look young, but that's obviously
Yeah,
not
and
what's
they
going
do.
on. It's
It's
just that this one particular enzyme was derived from a Korean baby. That's what's
Even if it
called
was,
adrenochrome.
even if it was
Wait,
one
so-
baby, it would still be
the
wrong.
enzyme came from
talk one at
maybe
a time.
Korean's foreskin.
The enzyme is called adrenochrome.
Even if it was one baby, it would still be immoral.
You know what? I don't care. Foreskin
Okay.
Yeah,
enzyme
how
all
many
day, bro.
babies
Who
is enough
cares?
for
Nasty.
you, Forrest or Coder? How many babies? Is it
There's
okay to
never
be-
enough, Mio. There's never enough. No.
What's
yeah,
the number?
not
I
enough.
want a number.
such-
What
There's
do
not-
they
All the
do with the
numbers,
foreskin
Mason.
though?
All the numbers,
Billion.
Mason.
8 billion foreskins.
What do they do with the
6 million?
foreskin when they do circumcise these kids?
It's not what I said,
That.
Mio.
Have you
How
ever
to do
heard of
that.
Have you ever heard of soup kitchens, Brittany?
Oh.
Stop.
Wow.
I don't like it here anymore.
Well, Radical Coder, I do have a question. I mean, why do you think they used a infant foreskin as opposed to an adult foreskin? Right? I mean, they could have taken the enzyme or the sample from any
Stem cells.
foreskin, right? Oh, stem cells.
Yeah,
Okay.
like I mean, it's stem cells. Is way. I mean, my understanding is that like fetal tissue is also like a big deal for stem cells.
It's called
So I mean,
witchcraft.
it makes sense that would.
It's a
Yeah, I mean,
blood
sure, yeah,
sacrifice to
It's
demons.
called science,
it's
but
just-
okay.
yeah. Like it's just how humans work. Like I don't know.
It's how
But-
vampires work.
Should
Even
we
Yeah,
should
I mean,
Then with the validity
some of
of
us are.
circumcision, it's like the whole idea that we do it to young children because they don't feel pain is something from like decades ago. We know
Yeah, that's
now
dumb.
that
I mean,
infants feel
obviously kids feel
pain,
pain,
so
sure.
like giving them a circumcision for a like even if we were to believe it, like a minor reduction in like I don't know filth is just
Yeah.
like it's absurd.
Right, but what if you think the child's gonna grow up to be a liberal? Does that make it okay?
No.
Stick if he's a lib. Yeah.
Well, obviously, yeah.
No.
Okay.